it's Monday. What's up,
It's
kids?
Monday.
Monday.
So, all right. So you guys got to help me out. Caitlin Clark, who's this basketball freaking phenom, hit a triple double.
Yeah.
What is that?
She scored at least 10 points. She had at least 10 rebounds and at least 10 assists.
Wow.
So double digits in at least 3 categories.
Man,
Yeah.
I've watched a couple of videos. They beat the pure living shit out of her on the floor,
Oh,
trying to keep her from scoring.
They're setting records with attendance with WNBA and viewership and things like that. And the rest of the women in the NBA hate her.
Except for her teammates because she's dominating. Well, everybody hates the best, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
So she's a rookie.
Yeah.
You know,
she got drafted by the Indiana Fever and she's kicking some ass. But yeah, they're for the first time in like 8-9 years, they're getting 20,000+ people in stadiums to watch these games.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
they've had to actually move venues a couple times.
Yeah.
Which is just insane.
It's
you
great
love
for the
seeing
sport.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just took somebody to go absolute fucking beast mode. And she's got the most unorthodox shooting style you've ever seen. It's like, just watching the way she shoots, she doesn't shoot, like a typical player. Like, who was it?
Can you show us what a typical player shoots like?
Yeah, well, I mean, like Larry Bird didn't either. Larry Bird shot two-handed over his freaking head.
Yeah.
And she almost like shoves the ball versus shooting it. It's really cool to watch. So, and then I saw another video, and I can't wish I can remember her name, so I can call her out. But there's this Samoan gal that's just dominating in the rugby leagues. Beast of a gal that is beating the shit out of people. There's videos of people trying to tackle her, and she's just picking them up and running with them. I'm like, oh my God.
Gotta get it done.
Oh,
So Donnie spent time this weekend finding female.
No, for some reason, sports popped up in my TikTok, and I'm like, all right, I'm here for it.
Something is wrong with the algorithm.
Yeah. Right.
No. I just need to clear your search history, sir.
You guys just need to start over, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and then we're getting ready to get the storms from Beryl plummeting up here.
It's been raining all day here.
Has it already? It hasn't started here.
It's only 74 right now, which is great. I love this.
Beautiful out.
It's sprinkling. When I let the dogs out this morning, it was starting to come down, but it hadn't come down like heavy. It's just like light sprinkles right now.
No.
It poured this morning, and we're supposed to have it on and off all day.
Good.
Yeah. Probably for a couple of days, I would imagine.
Oh.
Yeah, we got some of your weather up here. It's supposed to be mid-90s in Michigan today. Not excited.
Enjoy
but
it.
we haven't seen mid-90s in weeks.
Yeah.
Mid-90s would be a cool front.
Yeah, right now we're gonna be like 70 something. This is like our false winter.
Yes.
Yeah. Kim's out in Boston and they're having 90-degree weather out there, and plus they're on the water, so they get all that humidity probably coming in. Slapping
Go to the beach.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah.
Isn't it kind of funny to hear someone say go to the beach when they're in the northeast part of the U.S.? Like, I don't think of beaches when I think.
I will tell you though, when we
wouldn't go anywhere else.
When we went up there, we went over to Rhode Island, and that beach was gorgeous. We were on.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the beach. Do you remember, Stevie?
Oh no, but it was gorgeous though. But we walked there in the mornings, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then when I went to Connecticut last summer, I wouldn't have thought Connecticut had a beach, but we went. We had a best time. Beachfront properties and parties, and it was great. And I wouldn't have thought of a beach in Connecticut, but it was gorgeous.
Stevie, I was surprised you were actually here this morning because
this is the worst week of the year. This is like the worst week period. Every year, all I can think of.
And I don't mind this week, but now they got John Cena to host this dumb week. I don't. Why would you put John Cena in there?
Because John Cena's amazing, Keith. I don't know.
Oh,
and not bad to look at. So
what is he like? He's like 4'10".
I don't really look at his height.
What are you looking at, Stevie? What specifically are you looking? It must be his keychain.
Well, it's so funny. So I woke up this morning and I noticed that this disappeared from my calendar this morning, and I was like, was I not coming this morning? Was I doing something else this morning? And then I thought to myself, I wonder if I said, oh, well, it's Shark Week. I don't want to be there.
Freaking shark. I will tell you, one of my best friends, Lewis, their daughter is a shark freak, Stevie. You'd love her. She goes to the library and she checks out every shark book. She named one of our pigs Shark. And she's got shark pillows. I mean, everything. Now she's determined that she's going to be a marine biologist.
I love that.
Nice.
I love that. So cool. So cool.
Not really. I mean, it's sharks.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean,
until you pet them.
apex predators. Yes.
Well, Stevie's actually petted them.
Yes. And
In
they're
the
amazing.
ocean.
What's wrong with it?
I love sharks. They're really good.
Hey, where'd my hand go?
I couldn't do it. The only thing I came up with was my middle finger. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only gesture you have. So
All right, Peyton, let's play this silly game.
All right, come on. All right. Community Photoshop trolls.
okay.
So, I'm going to show you all a photo that was posted on r/Photoshop help. And you're going to try and guess what the Photoshop people changed it to. What did they?
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
I
got
love
you.
these. So I like it when people go to Twitter and they put out a picture
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, can you
Hey, can you help
me
do
in
this?"
your-" Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
Sleeping son on the ground. What did they make him do?
Chinese
Diving
Olympics,
at the Olympics,
flying a
flying a plane, fighting Mike Tyson.
please.
knocked out.
Please be Mike
dude,
Tyson.
Mike Tyson would be the
I
funniest.
really
guy.
want to. But I'm thinking belly
Please.
flop at the Olympics right there.
That would be good.
How do you
too.
sleep like that?
He sleeps forehead straight to the ground,
Oh,
not on his side.
I mean,
That's not
obviously he doesn't
sleeping.
have
That's
lungs,
passed the
so he's
fuck
not
out.
Breathing.
That looks like that dude looks like he had chicken wings at midnight.
Right?
Let's see it.
Mike Tyson
Mike
knocking
Tyson.
out.
Actually, that's Ali.
That's Muhammad Ali.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm moving on then. Never mind. Ignore me.
All right. Welcome to young kids to the show.
Ah, the airplane.
The airplane as well.
Oh,
Small helmet.
Small
the guy
helmet,
said, I
yeah.
proposed to my wife, my now wife or fiance. He goes, and the helmet was too small. I need to make it bigger.
oh no.
So
Give
did they
him
give
an
him
afro
a helmet?
instead.
Did they make him a smaller head?
I think a smaller head.
I want to see the afro.
Yeah.
I want to see all three.
Right? No, giant helmet.
Nice.
Good.
That looks like a dark helmet.
Live take dog fighting Voldemort, helping Frodo,
They do
swearing
it.
an oath. He's swearing an oath.
Yeah, I was swearing an oath in court.
I'd rather see him freaking fighting Voldemort. I don't know who Voldemort is, but
No,
we'll
'cause
get
that's
there.
not correct.
Yeah,
it's
who is-
Voldemort. But anyway,
Voldemort.
I
Not
think
supposed to
she's
say his
helping
name. It's on
Frodo,
purpose.
though.
So,
Kim, what do you
Yeah.
think?
I'm gonna go in swearing oath.
Yeah.
Swearing the oath.
He's fighting Voldemort.
oh, that's awesome. Or Voldemort, whoever.
Voldemort.
Third one you want to go with. Just like Mike Tyson and Ali.
There it is.
There we go. There it
I
is.
like that one the best.
That's so cute.
He did all
That's
three. He's helping. He's helping
Aw.
Frodo or Bilbo. I don't know which one it was.
Frodo.
That's Frodo.
Wow. If you're gonna
I
make
even researched
references,
it.
check them first, Peyton.
I
Oh, there's
googled
one.
it. I was like, which one is whenever he grabs the ring with, and I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, I think he does it both.
Okay.
He goes to the
I
same
hope this
place
one
as
is not
both.
Yellow Brick Road. It's the most sadistic movie of all time.
Yeah, the freaking monkeys.
It's gotta
And
be
I think
it.
there's Peyton, Winnie the Pooh is taking a dump. Winnie the Pooh
Yeah,
is an
they're supposed to be an
there.
HM in.
Yes.
You are correct.
Oh my gosh.
Today
So,
is the day of.
Winnie took the poo
Any
because he
of
was
these
fighting
been correct
Voldemort.
so far, by Peyton? Any of it?
I think I have no. I think Stevie, you're correct. I think I fucked up on every single one. So, take your guesses.
Winnie the Pooh was fighting Voldemort.
It's
why
gotta be
he
Yellow
pooed.
Brick Road.
I mean, I kind of want to see bungee jumping at this point.
The Yellow Brick
Oh,
Road
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and
don't
Winnie
know
the
if I want-
Pooh.
I don't know if I want to
Aw.
see bungee jumping.
That-
Hey, look, they even spelled it right down at the bottom there, Peyton. That's
I
interesting.
know. I looked at the picture and was like, yeah, Winnie the P-O-O. Yeah. Good. Thanks, guys. Cat Predator.
Predator.
Here, I'll just go
Okay.
click through this one. Look, she was chasing a butterfly, and they just said, "Do what you want with it," and then everybody just took it.
Okay.
Right?
If only we could get them to do that. If only.
Yeah, right. Push the dude off the top.
That's my
That's
favorite.
very cat to do.
Yeah,
Very
right.
cat.
While
Stop
looking
it.
right at you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Smack.
Oh man. Okay. So next is the solo Photoshop fails. People posted this on their account and they were like, "Look at how good I look." I want you
Oh,
to
and
see
so
if
they
you can
did the
figure
bad
out-
modifying.
Oh
see if
yeah, I
you can
love these.
figure out what's wrong with
All of
it.
a sudden they're like big up here and
skinny
like
kid with the
little
fake muscles.
tiny legs and oh.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. All right, what do you think's wrong with this one?
Oh geez.
Could happen.
Oh.
Right, be 11 foot tall.
It's the
Yeah.
same
Wow.
foot on both sides. They didn't
It
even...
is the same foot.
Wow.
It's close.
Yeah, somebody could do
Terrible.
that. Sure.
It's terrifying.
Amazing.
They just
What?
took somebody's head and put it on top. He's not in the bathtub at all.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Man, this is what happens when Donnie has too much time on Canva.
Right?
Yeah. No joke. Here you go. We got
Huh.
She's really
Well-
tan in the middle.
She's
It's
so she's
very
been
tan.
tanning her stomach. I mean,
she has 3 different
Yeah.
skin tones
Yeah.
on her chest, her hands, and her stomach are 3 different skin tones.
that's awesome.
You see what's wrong?
That part of his arm is
Oh,
not his.
No, yeah, look at the wall behind him, how it's all warped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
because
tried to make his arm bigger.
arm is not his because it has hair on it and he doesn't have hair anywhere else.
Right there.
Yeah, like look at that patch.
Oh my god.
How about this one? I'll let y'all see if you can see it.
Well, the pillows are fake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
that pillow right in the middle.
Yeah, it's not even leaning on anything. It's just standing straight up by
It's
itself.
It's just there.
It's got a nice shadow underneath it.
That's
It
bad.
looks like they flipped it upside down and the shadow's on top now. I don't understand. That is the last one.
Wow.
That's it. Last Photoshop fail. The baby's got his hand way over there.
And the hand is huge. It's like a
The
claw
hand is a
coming
regular
out.
man hand. Yeah.
Hysterical.
I saw a picture where it said, you know, what the guys hope would happen. Has this good-looking chick stand between 2 guys, and it looks like she's got both her arms around him, and then you see the backside of it. Both guys got his hand around himself, so it's his hand holding on onto themselves, but it looks like she's doing this on
Oh
both
my
sides
gosh.
of him. It was awesome.
Terrible.
Roll that
I know
beautiful beam
Terrible.
footage.
Okay, sending it.
This is Kim Laughlin, owner of Cultural Apex Coaching. Since 2013, her team has been supporting others and teaching them office relationships and skills. Her big business goal is to craft a masterclass. And today, she gets the hot seat with the Success Champions team.
Well, hello, Miss Kim Laughlin.
Hey,
Hello,
Kim.
hello.
Hey, Kim.
Hi.
Oh, fun
We're
hanging
gonna
out with you.
fix this early. Just do it. Just start it. Show's over. Everybody go
Yep,
home.
yep, done.
So,
Mission accomplished.
yes, I know. When I was talking to Donnie this time last year, he was like, "In 2 weeks, you're going to do this." I'm like, "No." I said yes, but I meant no.
Right. The answer is do it now. That's
Yes,
always
doing
the
it.
answer.
Always.
Yeah.
So Miss Kim, introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And then tell us what's the biggest thing we can help you with today.
Yeah. So you guys did such a wonderful introduction. I don't know if I can top that, but Kim Laughlin, owner of Cultural Apex Coaching. I call myself a recovering former director of HR who decided to go into business 11 years ago and take it on the road to help people love Mondays. I think that was the fastest way to get folks to understand what I do and just get along at work, become trusted leaders, and all that stuff. I do a lot of one-on-one work and group work. And one of the things that I really wanted to do is not just make a living, but make a difference. And the biggest way to make a difference is to create a mastermind so I can get to more people and do the work that I love to do, help people have difficult conversations. I think, Stevie, I'm probably preaching to the choir, right? But really kind of bring that emotional wellness into work so that you have control over how you you run your Monday through Fridays. And so doing a mastermind is one of the biggest ways I feel like that could be the journey to getting to more people. The challenge is have the content, I have the CRM, doing all that stuff. And maybe I'm paying attention to the wrong things, but it's the cadence of the marketing. It's the mindset behind having people kind of hear what you have to say, things that I'm trying to say to get them to understand the work that I do and get excited about being part of a community, so that when they come in, they have a place to share their, and work is difficult when you're working among people and for people that you're unhappy going to work Monday through Friday doing, but it can be changed. It can be changed.
I do that every day, Kim.
You do not.
We see the person we hate most every Monday morning.
But see, I said it to a sea of HR folks. I said, I finally love Mondays. And everybody just kind of went, so I said, there's so much work to be done out there and so many people to help do that. My biggest question, I know that this could probably be a week-long class, right, on doing masterminds and how to market them. What is the top 3 things that I think from a marketing cadence that I need to pay attention to? Time.
Can I ask a clarifying question before
Please,
we
I was going to
answer?
do the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You say mastermind, but what do you mean?
Sure. Okay. So creating a 2 time a month, about 2 hours, a cohort of anywhere from 8 to 10 people, learning about a topic that I have themed for the month,
Okay.
having them go home, do their homework that they learned, bring their issues to the table, and supporting them in between, so that mostly new leaders and leaders that are in positions that really need to learn how to lead, so that they can grow a productive team. So that's when I say mastermind, it's a group community of selected individuals.
Right. So I think it's really important that we be specific on language.
Yes.
Right. So a mastermind means that every person is an expert and they're all contributing. A group coaching program means you're leading.
Aha. Okay.
So first off, that's you have to get that clarity, because when you start by saying mastermind, instinctively, I think, okay, so you're stepping back as a facilitator and we're all contributing suggestions and content and ideas to it. That's what a mastermind is. It's every mind is bringing things to the table. Okay. Whereas a group coaching program is, I am leading you in this program. Even though we're going to group discuss and share, I'm the expert.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
So which are you thinking?
Yeah, go even one step further and just call it a community. Right?
Yes, a community would be fine too. Yeah.
Right.
People are always throwing on master class, mastermind, all of these different things.
Yeah. For
sure. Are you planning on charging for this, Kim?
Say that again.
Are you charging for this?
Yes.
And how long?
So it's a 12-month program, but they can do 3 months at a time. There's no less than 3 months, because the first 3 learning events are going to launch them into the next if they choose to stay on. And it's very successional. So the first month is, topic number 1, then topic number 2. So I have 12 topics.
So that means that once you start the program, they can't join anytime. They have to start at the start.
They have to start at the start. However, I'll be starting a few in a staggered fashion.
Multiple groups.
Multiple
yes.
cohorts.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I can tell you that it's almost impossible to market without help.
Right.
Like, if I didn't have a team, there's not enough bandwidth. Right? Because there's just too much work and too many things to keep up with. You gotta have a place for them all to go. You've got to put the content together. You got to post the content. You got to respond to everything. You got to think of multiple platforms. Now you're gonna be running workshops and the likes. So it's a very tall order to do solo, unless it's the only thing you're doing.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I can speak from a little bit of experience, because I am neck deep in this right now. I'm trying to fill a master class, a 12-week program. I want to get 10 to 12 people in there as well. I've got 2 signed up right now, and it is really tough staying on top of all of the discovery, doing, free courses as feeders to get into the master class. Like it's a lot of stuff to put together, Kim. Not impossible, but it's a heavy lift for one person without a doubt.
And you already have a team, Kim, that you work with?
I do. I just actually signed on somebody. No word of a lie, last Friday. So yeah. And I was excited to kind of come on here to add on to that value of what to expect, and I think that I'm a psychology nerd. And so I think that from the psychology of the buyer is really, some advice on what do you think that I should be paying attention to.
So who's this for?
This is for new leaders. Talked to so many organizations where they were like, I have, I promoted Joe Schmo. And I said, oh, that's great. But they usually promote people for their tactical abilities. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, that doesn't make them a great leader. It makes them a good boss, maybe. And so what they're doing is they're missing the soft skills piece that is really important to keep a cohesive and productive team. And so it's new leaders so that they have something as a prerequisite or a post-requisite after being hired. And also for, there's another group where they are leaders, but they just need help becoming a trusted leader.
So you're not selling this into individuals. You're selling this to corporate entities saying, hey, put my people through here. Okay.
Yes.
That makes a big difference.
It makes a huge difference because your marketing is 100% different.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That means all your workshops, all your things you do in front of hand are not geared for the people who are going to sign up. It's going to be geared towards the people who are going to be paying for it.
Yes.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, which really changes the dynamics of it. What so far have you planned, or what's the game plan to market it so far?
So we just had a meeting on Friday. So we're working on the steps from 1 to A to Z. We're kind of working on the plan to get that going. And so it's a little bit new for me right now. So I could kind of pull it up, but I don't know if we have enough time for that. But it's really kind of getting down I already have the content. So that was something I worked on.
When you say content, what do you mean?
Learning topics. So that's already done. So that piece.
So what you're teaching inside the Mastermind.
I'm sorry?
What you're teaching inside of the
Yes. So it's really that stuff is done.
Hey, Kinga.
Yeah, Kinga. And so
I hope you write it. I hope you wrote it all in pencil.
Everything. I'm very open to kind of shifting and changing because I don't, we don't have all the answers. But yes, kind of really working on LinkedIn. There's a lot of marketing that I need to learn to do this stuff. And so, and it's all corporate, all corporate.
I don't think what a lot of people realize is once they get into teaching something that things change so quick and so fast, and the direction you go in, the type of person that might be sitting in the chair this week versus next week, and things like that. So it's hard to everybody puts a plan together, right? It's my favorite Mike Tyson quote. Everybody's got a plan till you get punched in the face.
You get punched in the face.
Right.
Yeah.
It will change and it'll ruin the flow of everything you've done, steps 9, 10, 11, 12, things like that. So, but you got to get going in order to understand the whole thing.
That's right.
Yeah, and having the content is nice, but it's not going to help you with the marketing.
Right.
Means nothing.
Yeah.
Because that content you wrote may not even work for the people that are going to sign up. And this is why we try and get to people before they do it, is you never build it and then try and sell it. You always sell it and then build it. Because you'll end up spending a lot of time that you could have been marketing and everything out there, versus behind the scenes, building it, putting videos together, all the content, booklets, all that kind of stuff. Because a lot of it you're not going to end up using.
Yeah, a lot of the marketing nuggets that you're actually going to use are going to come from the classes that you're teaching. These are going to be an aha moment, right? You're going to go through and teach something. You're going to go, oh shit, that'd be a great thing to market. But you're not going to understand what that is until you actually start doing this. And maybe if you have people you can take through a beginner's class or something like that, so you can learn your flow, do the plan, and then pull some marketing nuggets out of what you don't, because you don't know what you don't know yet.
Right. And I have no problem chameleoning the whole, the process. I'm not stuck with one way and rigid thinking on how I'm going to do things. I definitely know that there's, I've seen with all of you, things that you have worked, which have amazing. And so, yeah, you have to be open to, taking a left when you want to take a right. I agree with that.
Well, I also think you have to think about from a marketing perspective, right? Regardless of what you're teaching, from a marketing perspective, you're in that situation where the people you are selling are not the people who are in the program.
Right.
So what do the people who are selling need to know to think you're a trusted resource that then you can sell them the program? And those are two different things. Right? So what I teach the buyers is not what I teach in the program. So you really have to think about two levels of content, right? So what content are you going to do in a free webinar or something like that to get people in who are going to be the people you need to sell? And then how do you have those follow-up conversations with them to get them to think about people to put into the program?
Right.
And also, a lot of your marketing is not going to be on LinkedIn, and it's not going to be social media at all, because that's not where those people aren't just hanging out on LinkedIn all day. That's not their job, because you don't want recruiters. Recruiters hang out on LinkedIn all day.
Yes.
Oh, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I disagree with that wholeheartedly, Stevie. You know how much revenue we pull off of LinkedIn?
Oh, no, I know that you do. But as an HR director of a company of 500,000 to 600,000, an HR director is not the one on LinkedIn. The recruiters are on LinkedIn. You can use the recruiters to get to the HR director.
I still disagree with you because
that's okay. You can disagree.
Tell me how you disagree, because I don't see many corporate offices hanging out on LinkedIn. Tell me what you disagree with.
So I got, if we could go with Cosini Brothers, they reached out to me. They're all freaking mid-level VPs, all through there. Both of these people are prime people for a course like Kim's teaching. They're all there. What you guys don't see is they're just not ones putting content. They're not commenting. They're not liking. They're lurking, right?
Oh, true. I would say that. Not that they're not there, but your typical like, hey, I'm offering a free webinar is not a post that they're necessarily going to engage with. You're going to have to engage with them in different ways.
Right.
That I agree with.
Right. I will say I've been on LinkedIn and being in HR, since early 2000s. I've been lucky enough to make a lot of connections, and most of the targets are HR and above. So I'm able to kind of touch base, do some, reach outs, directs for those who are posting on there is work to that. And I do understand that. I totally do. Totally open to understanding what other options there are. Yeah. So I do have a wide audience of HR and C-level folks and decision makers on LinkedIn. So learning how to kind of reach out to them, but also what else is there? What else? What other avenues?
All of your HR associations, all of your HR meetings, being a speaker at those are how I do my classes.
Speaking events, yep.
Because I just pass out the flyer. Here's my class. It starts in 2 weeks. Sign up your people. That's how I always go to fill.
Yeah.
So that's
and there's a lot of options out there. Like I just got involved with Troop HR, which is like a new SHRM that's nationwide now. They got close to 1,000 members, but SHRM, go find all your meetings. Those are all your HR directors, mainly for corporations. There's some independents, of course, but there's a lot of HR organizations that speak locally in your city, probably networking HR organizations.
Yes.
I know most every city, like here, the Fort Worth HR group, the Dallas HR group are big networking groups. Figure out how to go speak at those places.
Absolutely.
And then offer a webinar that's HR SHRM certified, and get all your HR directors in the room, and then talk about what your program offers.
Perfect. That I didn't think of, but yes, I will definitely work on that.
So every time we've done it, we've had to put like an ongoing program together. Like, okay, so we're going to launch in 2 months. In 2 months, that means we've got to create a list of primary targets we're going to go after. The next week, we're going to do this. The next week, we're going to do this. The next week, and you're going to continually funnel people along until you get them there. So that first plan of attack is, all right, what are all the things? We're going to do a workshop. I'm going to create my own teaching. I'm going to do maybe a LinkedIn event. Maybe I'll do something on Eventbrite. What stages can I get on in the next 2 months? What rooms can I get in front of? And all of them, because back when we did this with sales training, we would target 100 CEOs. You know how hard it is to get a CEO, let alone 10, 20 of them in a room? We target 100 CEOs and be happy to get 10 to 15 of them, into a workshop. And then we'd close 2 of those to get them as a client.
Right.
You know, when you're selling to that more almost enterprise level, and I know it's mid-market, but there's a lot more that has to go into it than the traditional side of things.
Well, and the follow-up has to be intentional, right? It's not going to be, most of those people, it's not going to be a one-time deal. It's going to be getting them in the room and then following up with them and then having the VC and doing all the pieces to get to that place, right? And it's also a long sales cycle. It can be a long game to get the numbers that you want. So also it's important to think about, which is why I asked if you were going to stagger, like, were you only doing it once? Because setting yourself a goal is great of like, I'm going to start in September, but you may not have anybody signed up by September.
Right.
So are you going to run in September with a pilot group that's different? Or do you keep, you know, okay, well, now I'm going to shoot for December. I'm going to shoot for January. And also think about when you're shooting for time-wise, because learning development programs only start at certain times of the year for companies. They don't just start anytime. Like they're not going to start anywhere in November or December. And they're not going to start in May, June. Like those are months that learning development doesn't happen. So, you know, thinking about that as well, so that you're setting yourself a good goal. Right. Because if you don't start before September, October, your next start date should be January.
Yes.
And something else to think about is corporations love certifications. Like if you can put a certificate on the back end of this, it's huge.
Oh, and assessments. If you can put assessments in too.
It's funny. You've convinced you've even further made me really excited about hiring Cornerstone Virtual Partners for this, because she already suggested a lot of the things that you guys are mentioning, and really kind of on the front end learning the marketing and the target of and I appreciate the mastermind versus the group coaching and the community piece. That's something I think is something we'll make a change to. So
something we're getting ready to start trying is to go from free webinar to paid workshop to paid chapter launch. Now I know it's a little bit different because we're talking about launching networking groups, but we're trying to go see if we can tier stack it up, right? Do a bunch of webinars, get a lot of people, see if we can fill a workshop off those free webinars. And then from those paid webinars, launch groups that, whether they launch an SEN group or not, but it's basically, you know, we're going to get you to, we'll teach you how to build a business to business networking group. We want it to be SEN, right?
Yes.
But that's something we're getting ready to start trying right now.
And paid workshops are a great way to see if people will give you money for what you're doing.
Right.
Without it having to be a big program, right? So like, because if they won't give you $150 for a workshop, an online workshop, then they're not going to give you $700, $800, $1,500 for a program.
Right.
So it's also a great way to test, I think, marketability of your program. And does it have legs, is to try something smaller first.
I love it.
Because the hard part is if you get people into a 12-month program and you only sell 2 people on it, you have to coach those people for those 12 months.
And that's miserable.
And it's miserable and it sucks. And so you really don't want to go that route until you know you've got the people. Like I don't ever launch anything until I already have a wait list of 15. Because I figure if I have a wait list of 15, I'll get at least 8. I'll get about half actually do it. So when I have a wait list of 15, I launch. But until I have a wait list of 15, I won't launch because there's not enough people interested yet to make it if it's too small. Because a too small coaching group will be a failure.
Yep.
So that's another thing to think about. I think the paid workshop idea from Donnie is a great idea.
Okay. Yeah.
Something like that.
This is great. Thank you.
The best way I've ever filled anything is speaking engagements. None of the email campaigns, none of the workshops. I mean, they do from, somewhat, but getting in front of a room, let people actually see you do what you do. Does a lot of it. So put it into the mix. Can you host your own speaking engagements? Which people
webinars, live events. All things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
For sure.
Well, and I think speaking engagements, also think about podcasts. There's a ton of HR podcasts now out there, and some have really good attendance and downloads and all the things. And so you could stack yourself up if you can get some speaking spots on those. That can also help.
It's funny you guys say speaking on stage and podcasts. I wish there was an event going up sometime this year that would teach people how to do that.
Don't you wish somebody would create something like that? That'd be amazing.
Genius.
Whoever did create that is just an absolute brilliant genius. I'm just saying.
That would be the team behind you, not you.
I know. I'm like, it wasn't Donnie.
Wait, I don't see anybody.
Yeah. We're patting Stevie on the back. Good job, Stevie.
Thanks.
That's right.
This is great. Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So,
the only other thing I would tell you at this point is go. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just and I know you want to get going and everything else, but imagine if you actually would have gone when Donnie told you to last year, where you would be at right now, what different stage you would be in. I know you're going to mess things up, but that's the point, right? Because you're not going to learn until you go mess something up and figure out how to correct it and things like that. So, but because when you get, let's say you launch tomorrow, in 3 to 4 months, you're going to have a whole new set of questions that you're going to want to ask, right? And different things you're going to want help with. So I would say go as fast as possible and just get into it. Figure it out as you go.
And I think to that point, do a pilot program. You don't have to call it that. They don't have to know that's what it is, right? Except if they're watching this podcast, I suppose they'll know I give you the idea. But but
I think that's a great idea, just to kind of just see what.
You know, so with our current online course, we did a 1.5-hour workshop that was free, and then we pitched them into a half-day workshop that was paid. And then once we had done both of those and saw what people liked and what stuck with people, right? We did a bunch of feedback surveys and all of that. That's how we created our online course now that sells every week, and I don't have to do anything, which is great. Yeah. But that's how we did it. Like those steps to pilot the ideas and pilot the language is going to be key for you.
Okay. What
wording do you have to use to get people to buy? Because like you said in the beginning, right, convincing people of soft skills training can sometimes be the uphill battle as it is, right? Mm-hmm. So what language do you have to use to get them to be okay with it? And also, what are your industry targets, right? So for me, soft skills, I target the nonprofit and charities. I target government and education. Those are my targets. That doesn't mean I don't have people in other industries, but those are the industries that I don't have to convince them they need it. Mm-hmm. I just have to convince them I'm the best. And that's a different conversation. Trying to convince somebody they need what you have versus just, no, I know I need it. Are you the person or not? It's a much different conversation. So if you test out some things quickly, like Keith is saying, just go do something. You can launch something in 2 weeks and get 8-10 people in it. Just to give you a try, you can learn what language works for your marketing.
Gotcha.
And you can learn who is interested.
I think this is pretty cool because this is like the inside the mindset of every entrepreneur. Every time we try and launch something, every time we try and put something together, this is the kind of the battle we go through is what's all the parts, right? What are all the things? And you'll think, overthink, start, restart, freaking throw a bunch of shit out there that doesn't work. I would tell you chase every rabbit starting off, and double down on what hits.
Okay.
Because the more shit you throw against the wall, the more chances are you actually find something that might actually work. And Mythbusters proved you can polish a turd.
One way of looking at it.
We've been trying to polish Donnie for 45 years.
Thank you. Keith just took off 2 years of my life, so I appreciate that.
I was rounding down.
Awesome.
But I know for all you guys, I mean, how often do you find yourself, going, hey, we're going to try this, and then start looking at the daunting task of all the things that's going to have to happen?
Yeah.
Hey, Julie.
Julie, welcome back.
Yeah.
So true, Julie.
So, I mean, every time we've launched something, it always comes back to, cool, how do we market it? How do we fill it? What are all the steps? Right. Who's going to do what? And I think what stops most people is that fucking sense of overwhelm. Mm-hmm. It's like it's just so much stuff that will beat the snot out of you, to get going. So, I know for me that we've had to continue to add to the team to be able to handle it all.
Yeah.
Right. That's without question. Yeah.
Now the team is consistently making me lists that are all going to Sharon. Some more shit gets put on my list of all the things I've still got to get done. And man, we've got a bunch of people working here now, so and every day it just seems like that pile of shit keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So
being in business. So yeah.
Well, but I think it's about, right, as Donnie said, it's about not letting the overwhelm leave us all paralyzed, right? So sometimes we can find that the list of tasks so overwhelming that you don't start with any of them.
Right.
Which just means it's weeks longer, years longer until you have the life that you want, right? So it's about just not letting the overwhelm get to you. That's right. And I think it's about having a team, but I also think it's about know your strengths. Right. So I will admit, right, one reason that I don't use LinkedIn, it's not my strength. I could hire somebody to do it. I just don't, but I don't need to. I found what works for me and I have the business I want without it. So great. Right. So I don't need to use it. That's awesome. But that's leaning into my strengths. Right. So knowing what you're really good at and saying, well, those are the things I can always do. Right. So I know if I need to launch a program, number one thing I'm going to do is run a free webinar because I can get 200 people to that. And that doesn't take me any energy. Because that's something I have already in my thing, right? But if somebody were like, okay, Stevie Don, but you got to go do TikToks, I'd be like, what? I don't
know. Good point.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
I also think, well, we can think about all the things like, yes, if you're truly launching something, you need to be on every social media channel. You need to be doing podcasts. You need to be hosting your own events. You need to be doing reach outs. Like there's so much you need to be doing. Absolutely. But if you're looking for a place to start with your strength. Start with something you already know how to do. It doesn't freak you out. It doesn't scare you. Get that rolling and then add on those other things. Perfect. Right? Because at the end of the day, where you're strongest is where you will get the most bang for your buck.
That's like, for example, my strength is in technology. That's where I would start.
What?
Wow.
Okay, I think you misunderstood the statement, Keith. We were talking about strength.
Oh, strength.
I think you got those words confused in your brain in that moment.
Julie.
Too funny.
So Kim, rip out your stitches, Julie.
Right.
Don't do that.
Kim, I am curious though. You talk about loving Mondays. Like, what are some of the things people should be doing to love Mondays? Because if you're running your own business, Monday is just another damn day. They all seem to kind of flow together. I mean, it does change up a little bit on the weekend. But
don't forget to say, watch this show.
Watch the show. Well, you can start by watching the show, and look forward to seeing all your beautiful faces. Yeah.
She was talking to me, guys.
Yeah.
And in person in September,
right?
Fort Worth. I think that it comes from an organic place from me. I just don't. So the first step is, why do you want to work for 40 some odd years doing something that you don't like, to retire? Maybe if you're lucky, you get to retire and then enjoy 10 years of maybe enjoying those 10 years. It just doesn't seem like a good wash for me. And I have 2 daughters that are very young. I said, whatever you choose, you're not going to love every day, but love what you do and be excited about what you do. Because if you make a difference in your own life, you're going to make a difference in other people's lives. So start with, what is it that I don't love Mondays about? Be honest with yourself. Maybe you hate your job. Maybe you hate the person you're working with. Maybe you hate the person, or
I hate the person I work for.
But
indeed.
Yeah. Hence the t-shirt that you have on.
Right.
Yeah. But it's kind of be honest with yourself. And just like Stevie, you were saying, like, just start, like, know your strengths and stop doing what I'm doing now and not making the decision that's best for you. It doesn't mean it has to happen overnight, but if you just start with something, at least you have an investment in doing what you love. Whatever that is, it's different for everyone. But everyone I've spoken to in the work environment it's typically the people, because you can love what you do, but if you don't love whom you work with or for, and I say love in a whatever definition you want to use, you're going to look and look elsewhere.
Wait, is there different definitions of love?
Some people be like, I kind of love it, but I love it. And so the other thing is people will do what they don't love to do if they're working with amazing people. And don't.
I don't want to be up Monday morning at 8 o'clock, but I do it because Keith's here. And
I know that, Steve, you and I talked a long time ago, and you're like, it wouldn't be unless it was for this crew that I would be getting up on a Monday.
Peyton, she doesn't like us.
So
Peyton,
my point.
She doesn't like us, Peyton.
Be honest with yourself.
Well, Peyton does this. This is why he's on my nugget list. Okay, if you would stop that and delete it from the system, then maybe I would love Peyton again.
Kim, there's someone standing behind you. I can't let anybody not know someone's standing behind you.
I'm on a podcast. I'm on a podcast at the moment, honey.
Hi, honey.
last time I didn't tell somebody there was a man standing behind them, I got in deep doo-doo.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I remember.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I think something that is so important about Mondays that you mentioned, Kim, right, is some of it is, can you find something that you love about your work, whether it be the people or what you're doing? Or I think sometimes we also need to learn to love the outcome of our work.
Yes.
Even if we don't love the work.
Yep.
Right. There's an element. I mean, even as an entrepreneur, and we say this to people all the time, or at least I know I do. Like, they're going to be being an entrepreneur isn't all great. It doesn't mean you only get to do the fun things. That's not what it means.
No.
You're going to do a lot of stuff
today.
you don't like.
I quit. Well, I didn't sign up.
You said something earlier, which I've told my kids as they were growing up, go do something what you love, figure out what you love at an early age and go do that, make it your passion. But you said something earlier with a twist, and I love it. And it was, you may not like every day, but you still love what you do. I absolutely love that. I'm going to incorporate that now back into their little lives, because it's right. Not every day is not going to be roses and sunshine.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, some days you just gotta look at it and go, hey, dude, you signed up for this shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you decided to build a company. Eat shit today and let's roll.
Well, and I think that's so important, because especially as entrepreneurs, when I think a lot of people quit their jobs and then are like, well, I'm going to build this business doing something I love. It's going to be great every day. And then they learn you have to sell, and they learn you have to market, and they learn you have to worry about payroll. And all of a sudden they're like, wait, this isn't what I want.
They go back to doing what they didn't love.
Right. And they're back to doing what they didn't like at their corporate job. And they're like, why did I do this? And I think what we always have to remember is there's an outcome for what you do. You don't work for work's sake. None of us chose entrepreneurship just because of the work. We chose it because of something it gets us in terms of lifestyle, whether that's the freedom to travel or to be with your family more or to live on a farm or whatever it is. You chose that for a reason. And I think sometimes, especially on a Monday, you got to remember your reason.
Right.
Why did I choose to do this? Because that doesn't mean Monday is a great day.
Right.
But it means I'm doing this for a purpose, and my outcome is worth my struggle.
Yeah.
And I think we got to remember that too. I think too often people lose sight of why they're doing it, even if in the daily things aren't so great.
That's right.
Well, I love that, because it just made me think, on the shitty days, are we taking 2 seconds to go, okay, why does today suck so bad? Right? What are we doing that is getting us back to that place we tried to leave in the first place? Mm-hmm. Or better yet, what things aren't we doing that we should be doing so we don't create that in life and environment again?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And why are you here? Why are you doing it? And what's your purpose? Man, if you don't know what your purpose is, and I don't mean, and please don't tell me your purpose is to help people. That's shit. That is not your purpose.
Wait, how do you really feel, Stevie?
My purpose is to help two people.
Guys, we all know Stevie says don't help people. That we
don't help anybody.
You can support people all you want, but don't you dare help them.
You need CPR? Fuck you.
I'm not.
I feel like I need one whole session at Summit to be. Stevie's going to tell you all how she hates helping.
How to help people without helping people.
There you go. That's the perfect title. How you're going to help people without ever saying you help somebody. But I think
don't help them. Be like Stevie's. Be like a support brawl or something. You support them.
I understand what you're saying though, because that's not always the biggest motivator. It's the doing. That people understand that 20% of what you are going to be doing is what you love, but you have to have enough why to do the other 80%. And Donnie, to your point is, okay, I'm having a bad day. Just take a moment and go, what? I got to remember why I'm doing this, so you can get through the quicksand at times.
Absolutely.
I try and remember why I'm like, I would have been in sales the rest of my life. I love sales, but all the fucking paperwork that comes along with it now, right? All the reports, all the data, all this stuff. Like, just let me go sell. You guys take care of the paperwork, right?
Yeah.
So I don't miss that part of it one bit. And I think about it all the time. Like, I was doing 3 days worth of paperwork and maybe 2 days worth of selling. I'm so glad I'm doing what I do now because I don't have to go through all that bullshit.
And now
I
all
will
his
never put
paperwork
my
sucks.
salespeople through
like,
that.
You know, he has no documentation whatsoever, but he's selling.
The opposite end of it.
Right. But I think it is.
I'll hire someone to do it at some point.
Yeah.
Keith, anytime you want to sell for me, I won't. I'll do all your paperwork.
Yeah. Hey.
You know, you can just
Perfect.
you can go sell for me, and I'll just do your paperwork. I got.
Actually, we
problem.
got
Keith and I are about to start a new business. Let us sell your shit.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm down. Let me pay
do the
you
paperwork,
thousands
we
of
do the
dollars to
selling.
sell my shit. I'm done. That sounds great.
Mhm.
We have a
Yeah.
new hybrid coming up. Somebody that's probably the best of both Donnie and I, and from a sales cycle, and she's only 19 years old and can outsell both of us.
Yeah, that's
There you
true.
go.
Lila's gonna
That's
freaking be a
God
beast.
bless.
Well, just start,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word, pimp her out. Let's do it.
You just told Keith to pimp his daughter out.
He didn't say it was his daughter, to be fair.
Figuratively.
I would have chosen my words wisely. He just said it was a girl.
I can't wait till I see
I'm like,
Lila and go, "Hey,
outsource
Stevie wants to
her.
pimp you
My
out."
better word.
She's standing on the
outsource her.
front porch. She's like Kim's husband a minute ago. She was trying to get into my room. My door's on the side over here, though. I know. I'm like, I got my hand up. She's like, but I'm like,
Nope.
Go away.
Probably people dying out front, dogs tearing into each other, everything. He's like, "No, Dad, I'm on a
Said
line."
any of these things before I came on this show. I just want y'all to know this is y'all's bad influence. I am not this human when y'all are not around.
hey, Mike Mallon, if you're still listening, can we get a T-shirt like that?
No, we cannot.
Thank you,
Stop
Mike.
it. Stop it.
So yes, we can. So awesome.
Also, before I forget, John Browning, you can go fuck yourself because now I can't get that song out of my head.
Actually, I have to say that was my appearance, the show up song at the summit back in the fall.
Yeah, Manic
Yeah.
Monday.
So it was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
one, John.
Kim, we've thrown a whole bunch of craziness at you.
I'm
what are
not
some-
overwhelmed at all, so I'm good.
Cool. Well, try and narrow down. What are some of the takeaways? Some of the things you're going to try and to apply and do from here.
Yeah, kind of tip your toe in getting some events, get some feedback. For those who show up, ask questions, do some things that I don't have on the calendar. Kind of just, I don't want to say throw it against the wall to see what sticks, but at this point, just kind of not do it. Get out there and do it.
Yeah,
Start doing something.
I love
So
that.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, let's go talk about events. What events do we have coming up? I know Keith and I are going to a damn play this weekend.
Good.
So
Good.
Saturday
It was-
night.
It was.
We're going to
awesome.
We're going to barbecue first, though. I'm
Barbecue.
excited about the barbecue.
At Crave. I will send you the address. But yeah, it's going to be a great weekend of theater. We had an amazing opening night. We had over 75 people in the audience opening night. It was packed.
Awesome.
Everybody
guys.
loved it. So yeah, we're really excited.
man, you're
for
going to
another
outgrow
weekend.
that theater.
Hmm?
You're going to outgrow that theater.
We are. That's our goal.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So-
So yeah,
so-
it's going to be great.
If you are in the Fort Worth market and you're or DFW area, you want to come hang out with Keith and I Saturday night, we'll be there.
Yeah. And we go to karaoke after if that
we do.
sweetens the deal for you. So it's barbecue, see a show, and then go sing. That's what we do.
And you get to go sing with the cat, with most of the cast.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
all the cast will be there.
From
There
the
were
show.
14 of us this last Saturday. So
Yeah. So it's an amazing time.
yeah.
wonderful.
Awesome.
Very cool. So, Barney, what you got?
So I only have one event myself this week, actually two, take that back. But it's Audience Alchemy, facilitating virtual training that doesn't suck. So Kim, you may want to pop by that one
Saw
on
that on LinkedIn.
Wednesday. Yep. And then I'm doing a guest spot for the Standing Ovation Society on Thursday, also a public event.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got this Friday, Building Great Sales Team 24 conference, Doug Mitchell's conference. So one of the keynotes there. So you can go to bgst24.com. And the venue he got was actually bigger than he thought it was going to be. So he has a whole bunch of more seats that just opened up. So he's running a BOGO right now. So if you've bought a ticket in the past, you get one free. Or if you're planning on buying a ticket, you automatically get one free because he wants to just fill the space up because it was a lot more.
The venue he got was brilliant. He got a church.
Yeah, it's called the Rebel Church
stuff, and yeah, it's amazing.
It's a church for Donnie.
Yeah, dude, he's
fixing to take people to church.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
here we go.
Sure. That's exactly. So
we'll see how many windows break when he walks in.
So, and then on the 11th, I'm doing the Quiet Connector workshop. So networking for you introverts that don't know how to get off the wall and want to do more and get better at networking. So it'll be a fun workshop. I actually have quite a few people signed up for that one, so I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, in September, we got the Badass Business Summit. Guys, you got to move quickly.
So I'm curious, Kim. This would be your third year now, right, in a row?
Yes.
Coming to the summit. Why do you keep coming every year?
Well, Donnie kind of yelled at me the first time because I had a free miles or something, and I just said I'm just gonna go. It was like within a month. I like the way you guys do things there. You're a lot of fun. Great speakers, and the networking is kind of bar none. So I love it. It'll be my third year. I highly recommend it. I really do.
Coming all the way
and
from
you guys
Boston.
have a lot of fun outside of the conference too. I'm just saying, a lot of good beef there. So
we like to have a good time.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But tickets go up on the 10th. So we'll do the first ticket increase July 10th for the Badass Business Summit.
Yep. 2 days to get
2
your
days
cheap
left.
tickets.
Let's do it.
So, and then we'll do one more price increase before we get closer to the summit yet. So, you're going to want to move. So, I know a couple of you, Julie.
Don't lie, Julie. Don't lie, Julie.
We know who you're really there for, Julie. It's fine.
Julie, we've hit our purple hair quotient for the attendees. So that's awesome. Kinga, I don't have the free ticket, but I'll see if I can find out who does. And see if we can't get you there to the event. So, but any other events, anything else coming up? Kim, you have anything coming up?
I'm gonna be soon, so keep an eye out. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, guys, this will kick it off for the week for us. Go have an amazing, awesome time. We love hanging out, doing this every Monday, putting some really cool people in the hot seat. Even if we have to hang out with Bernie, it's still a good time.
I mean, I said like 7 words today.
I know, dude. This is like, I was like, where the hell did this guy come from? We can't shut him up already.
Always good, Kim. Love seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you, Tim.
Y'all go have a kick-ass week. Love you, man. See you live.